Gary, I wanted to take some time to talk about the legend, the beloved, Fred Shack.
Yes.
Let me start by saying, what can you share about you finding out about his passing?
So it was the Tuesday before Easter Sunday. Fred came into the office. Fred looked amazing. He just came off from vacation from abroad. He didn't say where, but he was like, I was abroad. Fresh haircut, tanned. He was like, look at my tan, Gary. And just a strong, vibrant man came back to the office. I said, Fred, you don't look like you have any stress. He said, I don't, because now you're sitting in my old office. The stress is on you. And we laughed and joked about it. Yeah. And he was like, listen, I'm on speed dial, Gary. You know I'm here for you. Whatever you need, you call, you text. You just put a sign out there. I hear it and feel it, and I'll come back and I'll support you.
Throw up the signal. I'll be there.
And we was fine. I was like, okay, Fred, I will see you at our ribbon cutting next week and then at the gala. He said, yep. No, not a problem. That Sunday, a colleague called and was like, I have some really sad news. And I was like, what happened? And she's like, Fred just passed away. And that threw me, Greg. I was like, this is like a joke, because it's not even April Fool's Day anymore. Yeah. And she was like, unfortunately, he passed. And that's how I learned about it. And it crushed me. Fred was not only my supervisor, but he was a deep mentor. I can bounce anything off of Fred, and Fred would give me his raw, honest opinion and say, listen, let's think about it strategically. And his passing has had a dramatic effect, not just on me, right? Fred was a mentor to many people.
Absolutely.
The organization that I'm leading now, he was there for 21 years. He led that organization with integrity, with respect, and with pride. So it's affected not just me again, but the entire sector.
Yeah, two parts to it. One part is the pain and loss for you, the organization, the people that he supported and partnered with. He was a trusted and respected colleague, mentor, leader in the space. That sense of carrying that loss, and how do you bounce back from that, in addition to recognizing and respecting his family and just all of what that means, and how you manage that at the same time as you then have to navigate how to go forward, both from the perspective of how do we communicate this, because that had to be on your mind. How do we do this? You got a gala, you got an event, you got ribbon cuttings. You're carrying the weight of an organization that you just was sort of handed off.
Right.
And now it's this added sort of, I didn't just lose, this person that meant so much to me and to the sector. I also have to now think about this added complexity of being able to say to everyone, we just lost something that we don't just get back. And so I guess I'm just wondering, how did you go through the process of figuring out how you would steer from that point?
So,
and you're in the process of doing this now too.
I am. But when I first found out, again, I was crushed. And then I said, okay, what would Fred do? Fred would say, and his action would be, you need to be there for the staff. You need to be there for your colleagues. You need to be there for the sector. And you have to push forward. And yes, you have a ribbon cutting coming up. You have a gala that's important coming up. And you have a whole organization that you need to lead. Gary, move forward. So I went into Fred mindset. And I said, okay, I need to announce this to the staff. But I need to make sure that they had the resources, EAP, in place as well, because it was going to impact the entire staff. But I also thought about the senior team that Fred led. And I was like, I need to make sure that they're okay, make sure that they're taking care of themselves. So I made some phone calls and I, allowed them to go through their emotions. And I was there for them, because that's what Fred would have done. And we're still going through it, Greg. We had a funeral, the family had a funeral service, and it was wonderful because they invited a number of us to be there.
I heard it was beautiful.
And be part of it. It was
Yeah.
definitely classy, like Fred.
Yeah, yeah.
We're planning for the sector
Yeah.
a memorial service so folks from the sector can come together and just celebrate his life.
Absolutely.
And how he poured into all of us and into where we are today. So I want to make sure that's happening. This brand new 79 supportive housing building, spoke with his wife and his family, and they agreed. So we're naming it the Frederick Shack Residence.
There it is.
And then at our gala, we're going to make sure that we honor him at our gala because Fred deserves it.
I thank you for all the ways that you have thought about this, and I also appreciate you saying the grieving process doesn't end within any predetermined period of time. It takes time, and it takes the time it takes.
Yes.
And I will just say, lucky in my career to have worked with Fred. He and I was sort of a co-chair or vice chair to his when he was leading the Priority Strategy Council, the Human Services Council. He had a lot of interest and a lot of focus points. He was the voice of reason and clarity and power and pride in that space every time. But I served as a Priority Strategy Council, so I got to know him a little bit that way.
Yes.
And I was just so thoughtful, so insightful, so precise in how he thought. And I always really just admired that. And then fast forward, I see him that way. And then fast forward to the last Somos. I think we were sitting we happened to be having breakfast together. And now we're just two guys at Somos talking and laughing. And then the very last time I saw him, it was another Priority Strategy Council type. I was sitting right next to him. And at this point, I know he's handed over the reins. And as I said in the podcast, when he said you were the one, I was like, oh man, you're playing, you're the man right there. And he was like, I know. And he wouldn't say I know. He just would smile and just nod. But I just remember him sitting next to me, and I was like, so how are you spending your time? Oh, I'm going away, whatever. No details.
No details.
Just going away.
Yes.
Okay. But I just remember him saying, I'll always be around. I will always be around. And I feel that.
Yes, I do as well. And I speak out loud, Greg. Right. I'm in the office, and I say, Fred, you said I'm going to have you on speed dial, and you left me.
Yeah.
Right? And I say that, some folks laugh, but it's I'm also serious about it. It's like, you left me, but I still feel him. Right? I still feel his thoughts coming through my brainwaves to say, what would Fred do? How would Fred do this?
That's right.
And before Fred, his last day, he met with the senior team. He said, you want my legacy to continue? Keep moving Urban Pathways forward. That's part of my legacy. And Urban Pathways is going to continue to move forward.
I wanted to sort of circle this back for a second to your book and a moment where you talk about loss. You talk about the loss of your mom. And you wrote something, and I was thinking about this in relation to Fred's passing. And I'm not suggesting there's equivalency here, just this sense of how you wrote about it, because it really landed for me. Because I too, without Fred and I were not, we knew each other, we got to know each other, but I've been carrying that sense of what does loss mean and how do we deal with this from here? And you wrote something that really struck me. This is about your mom. You didn't always understand her. You didn't always agree with her, but she was yours.
Yes.
And you were hers. And somewhere in that invisible tether, you knew you belonged. I feel like Fred gave you everything he could for the time that he had to say, you belong, and gave that to his team.
Yes, he did.
And he gave that to the sector. And now we carry that with us.
Yes.
In his honor and with kindness and joy and respect. And that's what he offered to us. And I feel like you're the right vessel in this moment to be continuing to tell the stories.
Thank you. And again, Fred's legacy will continue. And I'm going to make sure, as long as I'm leading Urban Pathways, and even when I'm not, his morals, his integrity, the man that he was, will continue to live through me and through so many others.
100%. We're with you on that. You are not alone. It's the horizontal all the way.
Yes.
We're together.
Yes.
Gary, thank you very much for making this time. Continued success. And we think of you, Fred.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.